Okay, nobody turns random apartment problems into comedy better than Friends. One minute they think their weird naked neighbor is dead, and the next minute they're stealing a politician's pizza. This show was absolute chaos. So this compilation is basically everything that made Friends legendary. Awkward neighbors, insane misunderstandings, creepy apartment moments, and characters completely overreacting to everything. First, the gang notices that ugly naked guy hasn't moved all day. And instead of acting like normal human beings, they decide to poke him with a giant stick through the window. And somehow, that actually sounds reasonable to them. The best part is how serious everyone becomes during the operation. Steady, steady, thread the needle, like they're defusing a bomb or something. And then, after discovering he's alive, they keep poking him anyway. That's peak Friends humor. Then we get the creepy telescope neighbor. The gang completely freaks out because some stranger across the street is watching them through a telescope. And honestly, considering how much they spy on ugly naked guy, this feels extremely hypocritical. But Rachel's line about cooking naked absolutely kills the scene. Toast, oatmeal, nothing that spatters. That delivery is perfect. And then there's Mr. Heckles, the weird downstairs neighbor who complains about noise even when nobody's making any. You're disturbing my birds. You don't have birds. I could have birds. That line alone explains his entire personality. He's angry, lonely, weird, but somehow still hilarious. Then suddenly the mood changes, and we get one of the sweetest moments in the series, Monica and Chandler getting engaged. Except, this is Friends, so emotional moments can't stay normal for long. Monica starts screaming out the window, "I'm engaged!" and then immediately threatens to fight random neighbors. That is exactly why these characters feel real. And finally, the George Stephanopoulos pizza scene. The girls accidentally receive pizza meant for a famous political advisor and suddenly act like they've won the lottery. Meanwhile, Joey has absolutely no clue who the guy even is. Who's George Snuffleupagus? Perfect Joey moment. What makes Friends so timeless is that nothing huge really happens. It's just 6 people turning everyday apartment life into complete insanity. A weird neighbor becomes a crisis. A telescope becomes a horror movie, and free pizza becomes a national treasure. That's why people still watch this show decades later. If you want more funny sitcom breakdowns and classic Friends moments, hit subscribe and let me know